Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Crimnox has been waiting for you. I put on his angel wings because a lot of you wanted that. And in case you can't tell, time and alcohol took its toll and I had to quit. But that's good because several things. One, the next area is just like Act 2. It's a lot of killing, a lot of exploring, not a lot of story, not a lot of lore, which is why I'm playing. And secondly, the lore that's there, you can't get it all in one run through. So I went back and did the area over and over and over again, and as a result, I managed to get every one of the books except for a few, which I think I can get this run. Also, a lot of the stuff in this starting area here, I missed. Apparently, there's a conversation in the corner that I wasn't even aware of, so I guess we can go to that, and it might start a quest, a lot of you said. And I got some new armor, and I look like a sort of samurai guy with my helmet now, so I'm having a good time, and that means we can breeze through this next area, which is kind of boring, very, very quickly. So that is good for us. Anyway, let's go over here and talk to Covetous Shen. Talk.
I'm telling you, Lyria was so lonely, and Zai was so alive and full of life. They shared one perfect night, and after she emerged, blushing. Dirges raced to her side, but Zai was gone. The ruby around Lyria's neck was the only sign that he had ever been there.
Zai's conscience didn't trouble him for so openly taunting Dirgist?
No, not then. He felt pride.
Oh, maybe Shen isn't Dirgist, but instead he's Zai? Is that what I'm getting? I don't know. Alright, anyway,
Everyone's dead. Everyone in the city is dead.
Not everyone.
No, dear, that isn't true. Look, there's almost a dozen people here.
Thank you. Well, I like her optimism. I mean, a little bit more than a dozen, but still. Here's the conversation. A clue.
He's been saying something new, but I haven't been able to make out the words. He's getting weaker.
The witch.
There are no witches here in Westmarch. They've all been driven out.
Adria.
So I'm assuming that had I gone there earlier, there'd be other conversations, which means that when I play through this game again and do these all over again, I'm gonna have to... Oh, boy. Well, thank you guys for letting me know about that. I would have never have found it.
You killed the angel who caused this slaughter? Does that mean we're safe now?
Oh, no, you screwed. They're gonna come for you full force. Okay, then we'll go back to this fine young lady. Nothing in the satchel.
This disaster will make for great reading someday, provided that anyone survives to chronicle it.
Didn't she already say this? I think she already said this because we're restarting this.
How fortunate I am to have met the savior of Westmarch. You simply must let me ask you some questions when your work is done.
Okay, well, oh my god, well, my work is done!
Rakis conquered all of Honduras before founding Westmarch. Repelling this invasion would be child's play for him.
Ooh, speaking of Rakis, I found a bunch of his texts too. So we only need 2 more of those as well. So when we get to that point, we can read through those. Together. Oh, and this is when death, like... Death! Yeah. Malthael, so moody. Oh, also, a lot of you wanted to know the story behind Diablo, like the lore. So while I run through killing guys mercilessly, that's what we'll talk about as well.
You're not going anywhere without me.
Oh, really? And why is that?
Someone has to make sure you don't kill Adria before you find out where Malthael is.
I shall try to restrain myself, but make no mistake, she will die.
Damn right. Okay, so... Oh, actually, before we do any of that, because I know we're going to run into some of her stuff here in a sec, let's go down to Journal, and People, and Adria. Can I list them all? No, that... Damn it. Alright.
The first time I saw a witch, she burned. Father took me to the town square to see it. Look, he said, that is the face of evil. But she looked like any other woman, and burned like anything else. Then the flames engulfed her. Her eyes found mine, and she laughed.
How are you going to get Adria to tell you where Malthael is? Actually, I don't want to know.
That's good. That's very good. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
My father could never understand. He was born into privilege and wealth, and he spent every moment of his life trying to protect it. I was his flesh and blood, but he cared more about the names in books and the faces of the paintings on the walls than his living daughter. Do you know what fear is? The fear of who you are. The fear of what your own blood would do if they knew what you were. No, you could never understand it. People look to you as a savior. Have you ever thought about the lives you've taken? They were fathers, lovers, daughters.
I always thought that was an interesting connection there. She doesn't say fathers, brothers, it's fathers, lovers, daughters. What does that imply, Adria?
They asked me what I see when I look into the fire. I see a burning man. I see a burning witch. I see terror and a hunger that will consume everything. What hope do the works of men have against such all-consuming hunger? I gave myself to the flames. My father burned. He screamed as the flames consumed him, and the smell was sickly sweet. He had found me. For once in his life he had noticed me, and when he saw that the flames did not touch me, he breathed one word. It was his last. Witch, they called me, but I turned it against them. When their daughter had a child that needed to disappear, when there was a sickness that none of the healers could cure, who was it they pleaded with? When they needed me, the morality they flaunted in the daylight disappeared, as it always does. The first time I heard him, his voice pierced my skull. It reminded me of the cold and haughty sound of my father, but it was more. A crush of thousands of voices. When I heard him, I saw the flame, and I knew fear.
So that's what I've collected so far of Adria. I believe there are 2 more books. Oh,
in the deepest part of the Nephilim ruins near here. We thought it would be safe, but Malthael found it all the same.
so anyway, one of her books should be around here, and we can get it. Hopefully. And then once we get that and we start on the main part of this quest, we can then talk about the story for you guys. And as you can see, I am more ice now. I have an ice blast. Pew, 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 pew. And it freezes, guys. Actually, I'll show you my equipment. So first off, I have this awesome sword, Wildwood, which is pretty great. It looks very cool. Okay, magic missiles, there you go. Basically, at one point in time, I guess I switched up enough that I don't have that anymore, but at one point in time, magic missiles did a ton of extra damage. And, basically what I decided to do was go ice.
The very air is heavy with the taint of Adria's blood magic.
Oh, yes. As you'll find out, most of it is actually Adria's blood, question mark? Anyway, so when I was running with the group earlier, I switched up to all ice because we were doing high-level torment stuff, and we needed them slowed because torment... still a pain in the ass for most people. Oh, it's Adria's journal. Well, that was quick.
It was a man who came to my bed that night, but when I looked into his eyes, I saw the other, though even he did not know at the time. I did not hear the man's voice, no. I heard the other, the one that has been with me for all these years. I gave myself to him.
Oh my! And, of course, this leads you to Leah.
This is the entrance to the tomb, but someone's collapsed it.
The story, not the entrance to the tomb.
Adria.
It looks like we'll have to find another way into the ruins. What was that?
Oh boy, these little guys. There's something really enjoyable about mass murdering killer Ewoks. I'm not sure what it is. It's very stress relieving. It reminds me of, outside of Kuros and Diablo II, the guys that you would fight there, that are now the Witch Doctor's pets. They were just as fun to kill then, too. But, they're generally just silly characters. There's an area in the next part of this map that, while doing a run just to find journals, I discovered. It's a random event, so I don't know we'll find it this time, but it was those guys doing a little dance, and when you interrupt the dance, they come at you and start attacking you, but one of them just sits in the background and just keeps dancing. And then when he sees you have killed everyone else, he jumps into the jungle, but before he does like the Murloc dance from Warcraft. It's pretty great.
I need
This
arcane
was
power.
just one entrance to the city. There are guide stones littered across the blood marsh that will lead us to the main one. The guide stones are useless to most, but will reveal the correct path to a Nephilim such as yourself.
So yeah, this is the part I was talking about. It's a lot of running around, a lot of looking for stuff, and it's kind of boring. I love you, Blizzard, but this part's boring as balls.
You outsmarted me once, Adria. Never again.
Remember to get the information we need before you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Information first, then killing.
Awesome. Ooh!
That's not
Did we find it?
Leah was never my daughter. She was Diablo's daughter, in truth. I felt blessed to have given the product of my body to my master. He had no interest in me, but in the product of my womb, he found life again. I never flinched
I don't have
when
enough
knew
arcane
her
power.
purpose. Daughters are a cheap.
Damn it, Malthael, I was listening to that! Although it does explain why she doesn't care about her own daughter. Alright, what was she saying? Daughters are a cheap thing. Oh, well, I guess that was the end of it. Alright. Anyway, for reals though, now to the story. So, the basic story goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years, like all Blizzard stories. So, the war between angels and demons has been going on forever, and eventually, an angel and demon fall in love. And they secretly have kids, and those kids are the Nephilim, the first basic humans. And so, from that point in time, you're getting a lot of lore with, like, Rakkus and that, but there's, like, a mage war, and all sorts of crap happens because of the humans. And it's just a general problem for the angels, because they are part demon, they're part corrupted, and they are not cool with that, because they're part corrupted, they can be full corrupted by the demons. And the demons love the fact that humans are everywhere, because it's just easy for them. Anyway, years and years and years and years goes by until we get to Diablo 1. And so in that story, this high priest Lazarus, who, oh my god, hold on, trying to live. So yeah, as you can see, my build, very good for helping in a group, not so good at killing these guys right now. It hurts me more than it hurts them. Anyway, so this guy Lazarus, he is the archbishop and counselor for the king of Condorus, Leoric. And so he convinces Leoric, through manipulation and evil powers, to move the capital of their kingdom to this little stupid town in the middle of nowhere, our beloved Tristram. And the reason why is because there's an ancient cathedral there, which he's going to use to summon Diablo. And he convinces Leoric, and Leoric's like, okay, sure. I mean, you're my #1 guy. And so they move everything there, and Leoric goes crazy. If you play Act 1 of Diablo 3, you get pretty much the backstory of that. Leoric goes crazy, his guards kill him, and then he comes back as the Skeleton King and just wreaks havoc across the land. Anyway, Lazarus attempts to summon Diablo, and the only one who can stop him, of course, is Leoric's son. Hold on.
But nothing happens when I approach it.
Please, allow me.
There are 4 entrances to the Nephilim city, each one etched with a sigil. Only the correct one marks the true entrance to the tomb, however. When you
so yeah, there you go. This is why it takes so damn long.
One of the wrong sigils disappears.
Anyway, so Leoric's son, even though this was retconned in, because in the first Diablo, it wasn't his son, it was just an adventurer. But then later they said it was his son returned home. And so what happens is, his son goes and slays King Leoric, the Skeleton King, even though I guess you can't kill him. And then he goes and kills Diablo and Lazarus. And there isn't too much plot to Diablo 1, thankfully, so we can breeze through that. But he kills them all, and the only way he can stop Diablo is by taking his Soul Stone. Oh, God. I came in here just to get loot. I found a boss that is not getting hurt. What is happening? Anyway, so he takes the Soul Stone, and he crams it inside of his head in order to contain the power of Diablo, which is really dumb, because no one can contain, you know, one of the top 7, I think, demons. I think there are 7 hells and 7 demons. I believe that's the way they do it. But no one can contain him, and so of course he leaves the cathedral and he's victorious, but he has Diablo inside of his body, and that's when the witch Adria, who has been mentioned a lot lately in this playthrough, she basically bangs him and gets some of his hero seed and gets knocked up, and I guess is another way now for Diablo to enter our world, and that is the plot of the first part of Diablo 3, so spoiler. But basically, she bangs him, and then he just wanders off into the night, and then that's the start of Diablo 2. Now, before we even get into Diablo 2, it just hit me that I should probably explain how heaven and hell work in this universe. So a long, long time ago, the very first thing in existence was Anu, which I guess would be God, and then there was also his dark side, which was called, like, Tathamet.
Didn't see that coming.
Kind of like Tiamat or Tiamat or whatever. It's basically a 7-headed dragon. So that was his dark side. And the two of them fought constantly, and they battled. And eventually, because they were both equals, they both killed each other. And from the dark side was the prime evils and the lesser evils, the 7 evils, each of his 7 heads. What do you mean something's wrong around here? Besides the fact that it's going to take me 20 minutes to kill this tower? I mean, that's pretty wrong. Oh, it's an event! Oh, okay, well, good. It's King of the Hill against all these guys. Well, this will take long enough just to continue my story. So anyway, when the Tathamet guy dies and his 7 heads are like ripped apart, they become the 7 evils, the 7 main evils. And when Anu dies, his glory becomes heaven, and all the angels are spawned from him. And so in this world, there really isn't a god or devil. There's many, many devils, many, many angels, but the big guys, the big wigs in charge, are essentially gone. They can return, however, but right now they just don't exist. So anyway, going all the way back to the beginning now, because I just opened a can of worms and there's too much damn lore. At the moment in time when Anu and Tathamet defeated each other, it ripped open what I guess would be considered a hole in space-time and created a nexus reality where all other realities could connect to. This is called Pandemonium, and it is a place where demons and angels have fought for centuries, and they've constantly fought there, mostly over something called the Eye of Anu, which is basically like the World Stone, the big plot device in Diablo 2. Or as it's also called, the Heart of Creation. And so both angel and demon wanted this power so desperately, and that's why they fought over it constantly. And what happened is that angel and demon that I talked about earlier, Inarius and Lilith, after they fell in love, they wanted a place to hide their children. And there were also other angels and demons with them that were tired of the war. And so they all got together and they were like, you know what? We're going to create a place called Sanctuary. We're going to hide the stone there. We're going to hide our kids there. And that will stop the battle. And it will be sort of a place where no one can go and no one can fight. And for a long, long time, that was the case. Only humans really messed with humans. And the humans weren't good to each other, but at least only humans messed with humans. And eventually, though, a civil war broke out in hell. And the 4 lesser evils, which would be Duriel, Andariel, Belial, and Asmodan, overthrew the prime evils, Mephisto, Baal, and Diablo, and basically kicked them out. And so the plan that Diablo and his brothers had was like, we're going to go to Sanctuary, we're going to take over that, then we're going to come back to hell, we're going to take that, and we're going to take over heaven, we're going to get a revenge on everyone. That was sort of the idea of their plan. So now we're back up to Diablo 2. And it's a really great game. Oh god, hold on.
I don't have enough.
Well, this guy looks unfun. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna try to stay alive while telling you this. So, in Diablo 2, it's a really great story because, if you haven't played it, by the way, play it. It's told secondhand. There's a character named Marius who runs into the Wanderer, who is basically the hero from the first game with the Soul Stone of Diablo in him, and wherever he goes, evil follows. And his basic plan is unleash his brothers Mephisto and Baal onto the world, take it over, right? So this guy Marius follows him around as sort of his lackey and tells the story to Tyrael in a prison cell because he's gone insane, and I'll try to explain as time goes on, but it's actually a very cool premise for storytelling. Meanwhile, you and the other heroes, like the wizard and the Amazon, right? You show up in time to save Deckard Cain, save Tristram, because after he left Tristram at the beginning of Diablo 2, end of Diablo 1, it basically is taken over by demons and his power burns it to the ground. And so you go there and you help everyone and then you follow him. So you're always one step behind him, which is kind of an interesting concept because you see what's in the wake of wherever he went. And then Marius is busy telling Tyrael the story of what happened when he got there. And so as the story goes on, you hunt him down and you find his brothers and you fight his brothers and you fight them off. And then you kill Mephisto and you kill Diablo and you find their soul stones and you smash them into nothingness and they can never return, right? Well, turns out at the end of the story, which is one of my favorite twists, and again, spoilers, it's kind of one of those things that you wish you had seen coming because Tyrael's been with you the entire time, the hero. How could he have been with Marius? It is fantastic. Basically, Marius is talking to Tyrael in the jail cell. And he's like, Tyrael, I'm so sorry. I had Baal's soul stone, and I couldn't take it into hell because that's the only place you can destroy soul stones was in hell. He's like, I was driven insane. I just couldn't take it. And then it's revealed that Marius has been talking with Baal the entire time and not Tyrael. And so Baal takes his soul stone, or I guess Baal, if you're saying Baal, it doesn't matter though, takes his own soul stone and escapes with it. And he kills Marius and then burns down the hospital slash prison slash sanatorium or wherever he's at. Burns it to the ground. It is a fantastic scene. One of my absolute favorites. If you can't play the game, at least go watch it. It's very, very cool. And so what happens in the expansion is that Baal is going to continue his brother's plans and head north to find the World Stone and corrupt it, seeking vengeance on everyone and essentially trying to rule all of creation by himself. And so you and Tyrael and Deckard Cain and all the other heroes venture north to stop him. Luckily, the barbarian tribes there have managed to hold him off for a little bit, but he manages to get in, and in a last-minute sort of save-the-world kind of adventure, you rush in to stop him. You manage to beat Baal, destroy his soul stone, but it turns out that he has corrupted the World Stone. And unless everyone's cool with demons taking over, Tyrael is left with no choice and destroys the World Stone, which basically makes an even playing field, allowing both demons and angels to come into Sanctuary. And this poses a massive problem because it turns out demons, totally cool with the idea, angels want hands off. All the angels on the Angiras Council are like, we promised we would not interfere with humans. They are bad news, and now you want us to go help them? And so that leads into Diablo 3, in which Tyrael forsakes his angel brothers and says, like, I fought alongside these guys, they are good people, and he comes and joins us as a human. And the other angels are like, boo, you're a dummy. And of course, then Leah, it turns out, is Diablo. Deckard Cain gets killed. All sorts of things happen in Diablo 3. I'm sure you can look that information up. It's fairly new, or I would say play the game and get caught up. And a lot of stuff happens. Adria tricks everyone and helps Diablo come back into the world through Leah, and then they run amok in the high heavens, and Diablo pretty much almost destroys heaven entirely, but you manage to stop him and put his soul into the Black Soul Stone, which can't really be destroyed, but it's still much better than him running amok. And so that leads into this expansion, in which heaven was almost totally ruined, and the angels, even though the angels and demons can't really be killed, they just keep respawning basically, are still pretty pissed about losing much of their home to demons, and even though they can rebuild it, are not pleased with humanity. And so that leads to this, where Malthael is like, the only good solution is just wiping out all of humanity. And the other angels, it turns out, are like, fine, whatever, we don't care, do it. What? Oh, that was my reward. That's my reward for doing this entire thing for you guys. As a reward, the game gave me the Grandfather. Oh my. Oh my, that is... I just got excited and couldn't even see. That is not necessarily better than what I have, but it's awesome looking. Oh, such a letdown to find stuff. Ignores durability loss? Dude, that's pretty cool. Level requirement reduced by 20? Dude, so at level 50? That's an incredible weapon for level 50. Alright, well, I'll hold on to that. One day, I'm sure I'll have a guy who needs it. Although the intelligence is not that useful for anyone. I guess I could enchant it differently. and maybe put strength on it and give it to my Crusader? Oh, that's not a bad idea. Rats, come on, man.
Your grave awaits.
Your rat grave. Then I'm sure, like everything in Diablo, this monster was created because rats were put in a grave. And now the rat grave beast is back. Luckily, I have my Herodic Cube. It's my bad, Decker Kane. You're welcome. Oh, see, I like the chain a little bit better. Mostly because the arcane regen, the ice things did not do it for me. Better with the group, not alone, I guess.
I'm so good, I astound myself.
Eliminate the Lost Boggin tribe. Why would we kill them? They should be in a museum. We should hand them over to the one guy who's like, let me tell you the things that I know and we will study them together, my peers. You know what? That's not even what he sounds like. Doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about. The lore guy. He keeps popping up every now and again. Well, not in this expansion, but if you play Diablo 3, you know. Oh, here we go. Get that item. Damn. You know who I'm talking about. The scribe, the historian guy who's not Decker Kane. The Lost Boggin tribe. That's my voice for... Why do I keep going? You know what? We're just gonna kill this guy and call it a day. Gruel. Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil. Killed him and threw his body into a landfill. And then he came back as a rat bog demon. Why does everything come back as a rat bog demon? The worst Disney song ever made. Oh my goodness, gracious. This place does not end. I think there's an achievement to destroy 50 objects. I've yet to find a place with 50 objects to destroy in one. If you guys know of one, let me know. I keep looking for one and I just can't find it. Maybe you have to just, I don't know. 50 at once, whatever the hell that is. Or wherever the hell it is. Is that it? Are we done with this? They didn't even give me a teleporter out. How rude. That's fine. I'll kill your bats. Oh, there's the way. Alright. So we'll go out, and then hopefully we'll get back to finding stuff. This is... What did I tell you? What did I tell you? It takes a long-ass time to get through this area, and if nothing important happens.
See me now.
Lots of bats. And, oh, that's the King of the Hill thing. Thought I found some ancient temple. I was very excited. I was like, oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. So one thing you'll notice right off the bat with this switch in my abilities, I don't kill the boglings as fast as I did before, because I have an insane amount of damage with those magic missiles. The upside is I can use my other abilities much more, and so I don't have to rely on just magic missiles, which are fine, but they only kill one guy at a time. Hey, and then he's dead. Take that and that. We'll come down here. What is that? Winding cave. Is that where I came from? I don't even remember. Or is that just another winding cave? Look. I don't even care anymore. That. Oh, here's one of them. Well, about damn time I found one. Alright. That, so it is either water or wind.
Find another guide stone to determine which sigil is the correct one.
Cut that out, fellas. See, so overall I kill a little bit faster, but single things I don't kill faster. So maybe when we... damn it. Maybe when we get to the boss, we'll switch back up. But for now, running through all this garbage, it's fine. Dude, Laura, stop that, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. You're useful. Unlike Cormac, who's just running around like a crazy person. Oh, and another one. Here we go. Good. And it gives me directions.
Now I know which city.
So as you can see, this area is huge. There's a lot to do here. There's a lot of little side quests and things that, I mean, don't really do anything but give you loot. Not really any story to them, but you know what? That's fine, because now we know where to go, and we're gonna go. We're gonna get the balls out of here. Now run, team! There's no greater glory than retreating to live to fight another day. Cormac's like, whoop, I'm right here.
How long do you think Adria would last if I held her head under one of these blood pools?
Here's the thing. I don't think that would affect her. I feel like she's pure evil at this point, and she probably made the blood pools. Because later on, she has these demons that are blood demons. And yeah, I feel like that would be pretty much her bag. She would enjoy it. She'd be like, hold my head under there longer. I'm saying she's crazy. She's messed up in the head. Woman's got a few screws loose. All right. Oh my goodness, this is it.
This is the passage.
Yeah, boy, let's go.
Searching.
Advertise like shameless whores.